a child's involved in a weight class management sport like wrestling or an aesthetic sport like gymnastics, how do you help them effectively and safely manage their weight? We're going to find out today, right here on Clubhouse Gas. I'm here with Diane King, certified athletic trainer at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, a registered dietitian and a specialist in sports dietetics. We're talking today about young athletes and weight management. Welcome and thank you for being here, Diane.
Thank you.
So in sports where weight is emphasized, such as gymnastics or wrestling, a lot of these athletes are going to feel the pressure to keep their weight down, to be thin, maybe to lose weight. Is it safe for them to diet, or how do they go about attacking these issues?
Well, the problem a lot of times is the athletes just don't have the right information about how to keep their weight consistently low. And so what happens is they generally just will stop eating. They'll take out all of the fat out of their diets in a way to control their calories, but then the problem becomes, now do they have enough energy to actually train? There have been actual studies that show that weight cycling may actually increase the potential for an athlete to develop type 2 diabetes because of the unavailability of sugar coming into their bodies from time to time and that starvation kind of mode that they set themselves up into. There's much safer ways to manage their weight with working with sports.
Okay, so let's talk about what are some of those safer ways.
Well, I think the first thing that you have to look at with any athlete, no matter what the sport they're doing and no matter what age they are, is what are they really eating now? And so a lot of times the best way to go about figuring that out is write things down for 2 or 3 days and really kind of look at it from a trend and a pattern standpoint. The other thing that we really want to emphasize, even with an athlete that's wanting to manage their weight, is small meals and small snacks to provide their body with energy so that they train well and they stay safe and don't hurt themselves along the way.
Now we're going to have some athletes who are going to naturally lose weight during the season, but they're not actually trying to do this.
Right.
What do we say to those athletes?
Well, a lot of times it's just a lack of awareness, and what it goes back to is the athlete doesn't feel like eating. So depending on the length of a season, or with athletes that do multiple sports and never really get a chance to rest and recover, we have to teach them you need to eat because that's what your body needs, not what your brain thinks it wants. Calorie-dense foods that don't require a lot of effort for preparation, something like a trail mix or even a smoothie or a milkshake, can be very helpful without creating problems from the weight standpoint. The problem with weight cycling is that every time an athlete is losing weight rapidly in order to make a weight for the end of a week competition or something like that, they lose a lot of water weight, but they also lose muscle mass. And so every time then when they regain that weight, a lot of the composition is coming back as fat weight. So an athlete may in fact stay about the same weight, but they're actually becoming fatter. And the only way we really know, what's happening with that child is to do body composition testing.
Okay, and what is that exactly?
Well, there's lots of different ways to test body composition. You hear about underwater weighing and things of that nature. The easiest thing to do with a child is skin fold measurements. It's giving us just a measure of subcutaneous fat, but it also shows change over time, and that's really what we're looking at, because as an athlete grows and ages anyway, their body fat will change naturally.
And are any of the associations, the sports associations, using these measurements to help regulate their athletes?
Definitely. Wrestling in particular is at the top of the list with using these products and protocols. And what they do is they measure even the high school athletes. So the 8th and 9th graders are still a part of this program within Georgia High School Association, as well as all 50 states. And these kids are brought in. There is a urine-specific gravity test, which actually measures their level of hydration. If they are hydrated, they are allowed to continue the test, and they have a body composition assessed. And what it does is it sets up a weight loss protocol for them because it's preventing them from losing too much weight quickly. It keeps them measuring and recording weights throughout the entire season so that something unusual is not happening with weigh-ins, and it keeps the kid healthier. Our intent with that is to just limit sudden death episodes.
How is the sudden death playing a role in?
It's usually a factor of hydration, and so the kids will put on the rubber suits, they'll go out and run, they'll sit in the sauna and spit and things like that in an effort to lose weight for a weigh-in. The problem again is it's not weight mass that they're losing, it's simply water weight. And when they lose that extreme amount of fluid, what's going to happen is it causes arrhythmias in the heart, and it can actually cause sudden death in those athletes. What
are some of the warning signs the parent might want to look out for?
Well, I think when you are looking at energy availability, and low energy is kind of the first and foremost thing that you're going to notice. Their practices start to deteriorate. They're not feeling well. They complain about soreness all the time. They don't ever seem to recover. They can have a lot of problems with mood and irritability issues. And sometimes, we're thinking an 11 or 12-year-old child is just moody and irritable anyway, but it could be a warning sign. Certainly injury and injury history can also lead us to, kind of wonder, is there something going on as far as the body's ability not to be able to recover?
Okay, well, we'll be sure to keep a lookout for these warning signs, and we thank you for helping keep our kids healthy.
Thank you.
And safe. And we thank you for watching this edition of Clubhouse Gas. For any more information, see the editor's notes down below. We'll see you next time.